Blackstone Audio presents Angelica's Smile by Andrea Camilleri, translated by Stephen Sartorelli. This book is read by Grover Gardner. 1. He awoke with a start and sat up in bed, eyes already open. He was sure he'd heard someone talking in his bedroom, and since he was alone in the house, he became alarmed. Then he started laughing, having remembered that Livia had shown up unannounced at his place that evening. The surprise visit had pleased him immensely, at least at first, and there she was now, sleeping soundly beside him. A still violet shaft of the dawn's very earliest light shone through the window shutter. He let his eyelids droop without bothering to look at the clock, in hopes of getting a few more hours of sleep. But then his eyes suddenly popped open again. Something had just occurred to him. If someone had spoken in his bedroom, it could only have been Livia. She'd therefore been talking in her sleep. But this had never happened before. Or perhaps it wasn't the first time. But if she had in fact talked in her sleep before, she'd done it so quietly that it hadn't woken him up. And it was possible she was at that moment still in the same dream state, and might say a few more words. So this was an opportunity not to be missed. People who suddenly start talking in their sleep can't help but say true things, the truths that they have inside them. He remembered reading that it was impossible to tell lies or stretch the truth in a dream state, because one is defenseless when asleep, as helpless and innocent as a baby. It was very important not to miss anything of what Livia was saying. Important for two reasons. The first was general in nature, being that a man can live 100 years at a woman's side, sleep with her, have children with her, breathe the same air as her, and think he knows her as well as humanly possible, and still, in the end, feel as though he never really knows what she is like deep inside. The other reason was more specific and immediate in nature. He carefully got out of bed and went and looked outside through the slats of the shutter. It promised to be a lovely day without clouds or wind. Then he went over to Livia's side of the bed, pulled up a chair, and sat down at the head, as in an all-night vigil at the hospital. The previous evening, and this was the more specific reason, Livia had raised a big stink in a fit of jealousy, ruining the pleasure he had felt by her surprise visit. Things had gone as follows. The telephone had rung, and she went to answer. But as soon as she said hello, a woman's voice at the other end had said, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?